Howdy, guys. Welcome to night 72 of Big Brother All-Stars. And this is Cliff Notes from outside the Big Brother house. Good Friday morning to all of y'all. We're going to cover in the next 15 minutes all the overnight conversations that took place inside the Big Brother house following the eviction and following the HOH competition. Yes, indeed. We have the HOH competition. We now have a winner. Just as an advance warning, if you don't like spoilers, if you don't want to know who won that HOH, you're going to need to shut down for right now and come back after you see the episode on Monday night, because we're going to talk about who won HOH. We are indeed. All right, first of all, during the episode itself, as a bit of a refresher, we did have the eviction, and by a 2-0 vote, Memphis is evicted. Not a huge surprise there. Suspected that was going to be the case. It doesn't appear that anyone told him ahead of time that he was going home based on what he told Julie. But he did say that he had a suspicion that something was up. And I get it. The week I was blindsided last season, no one said a word to me, but you just can tell because suddenly people aren't looking you in the face. They aren't necessarily talking to you. They're going the other way when they see you coming. So I knew it last season. I have a feeling he knew it this season as well. So it was a bit of a blindside, but he took it well and said, good luck. You're going to need it, and headed out the door. He thought he was going to stay. He did indeed. So we are now down to the final four. We've got Christmas, Nicole, Enzo, and Cody. All right, how's this thing going to pan out, guys? We will see. And the next big step is who's going to win this HOH and give them a spot in the final three. So during the episode, we got a little teaser that the HOH competition was going to be night moves, a giant chessboard. Just look up above me here, and you'll see the play the play area, the game area. Kazar is apparently hosting or at least introducing the competition. Not sure if he's going to host it or not, given COVID and all that, but they had a clip of Kazar talking about that. This was one of probably his favorite episode or competition in season 6. So Kazar introduces it. For those of you who aren't familiar, this competition involves a chessboard. The 3 players are going to take turns moving in a night pattern. For those of you who don't play chess, that means up 1 across 2 or up 2 across 1. And they're going to take turns doing that. Once a person lands on a square, that square is blocked. No one else can land on it again until eventually you get someone that doesn't have anywhere they can make a legal move and land on a block or square that hadn't already been blocked. At that point, they're eliminated. The last person that still has somewhere to take a move wins the HOH and wins the competition. Man, why did they have a competition like this during my season last year? Forget these giant, huge slingshots and all the endurance comps and all that. Give me a chessboard and I would have been okay with it. But it is what it is. All right, so although we did not get to watch this competition on the live feeds, and it would have been a fun one to watch, but we'll see it on Monday, I'm sure. When the feeds return, we do know now that the new HOH is, drum roll, the new HOH is Enzo. So congratulations, Enzo. I think this is his 4th competition win so far this season. And apparently, and we'll talk some more about it, but apparently Enzo got to go third. He's arguing that really helps advantage-wise to be the last person to go, and perhaps it does. So Enzo is the HOH. So now we've got the feeds back. We have, right after the feeds come back on, we've got Christmas in the kitchen, I believe, studying the memory board, the dates and events, while Enzo is going over the photos in the photo room in his bed. So people are already preparing for this veto competition on Saturday. Now, with regard to Enzo and looking at those photos, I just don't think that those pictures are going to be part of a veto challenge or any other challenge, simply because, one, production hasn't shown us the pictures enough, and I think they would like us to be able to play along by having at least at one point seen all the pictures. And 2, we've had house guests have been taking some of those pictures down that they're in to try to take them with them as they're evicted and all of that. So I don't think they're going to have that as part of the competition, but Enzo is studying them just in case. Well, Enzo is later talking to himself, and he's saying, yo, man, Enzo, I got to win this thing out. I got to get a clean sweep because I don't want to have to send Cody or Nicole home this week. Now, here's the thing. I'm thinking about it. If you're Enzo, is Christmas winning the veto the worst thing? Enzo stands a much better chance in a final 2 competing against Christmas than he does competing against Cody. If Christmas wins veto, She can send Cody out the door, and there's no blood on Enzo's hands whatsoever. But on the other hand, Christmas would probably take Nicole to a final two over Enzo. So you got to be balancing that as well. Of course, Cody would do the same thing. I truly think he'll take Nicole over Enzo to a final two also. So just something to be thinking about. Enzo's going up and down, swearing he's going to gun for this veto, but is it really his best interest? He is already protected. He's in the final three because he's won HOH. So maybe let some other people get some blood on their hands and take out that bigger target. Is he going to do that? I don't know. He also would help his resume to win a veto and have some of these comp wins at the very end of the season in case he gets to a final two. So you got to balance that versus getting out the big target that would be Cody. Enzo is, with that in mind, if Enzo or Nicole wins the veto, are they going to go the easy route and send Christmas home? And that truly is the easy, conservative route that we've come to expect in this season of Big Brother, right? Or would they make the bold move and send Cody out the door, take out the biggest threat? They have to know, both of them, if either one of them is on the block or on the final two chair with Cody and the jury's voting, they have to know Cody's going to get the jury votes at this point in time, don't they? Don't they? And if that's the case, are you really wanting to play for second or third place, or do you take that big move and take a chance that you make it on there and you're up against Christmas instead or Nicole instead and potentially winning the whole thing? I don't know. I don't know. Well, we're going to see just how bold Enzo's been talking all season long about, yo, man, got to make the big moves. Got to make the big moves. Enzo, here's your chance right here. Let's see what you do, my friend. All right, later in the photo room, we've got Enzo again talking to himself. When there's only 4 people in the house, you get a lot of people talking to the cameras and talking to themselves. Enzo's talking to himself, saying, "Hey, I know Cody wants Christmas out, but I want Christmas in." There you go, Enzo. The light bulb's there. It's just, is he going to act on it? But if Enzo has decided that he really wants Christmas to stay, does that mean he would go after Cody, or would he go after Nicole if he wins the veto? Cody, obviously, again, is a bigger threat, but I think the chances realistically, and if I was a betting man, I think that means that Enzo's going to send Nicole out if he had a chance and perhaps keep Christmas in is what he's getting at. But if he sent Cody out, talking about a big move, a big resume builder, a move like that could win the whole game for you at the end of the season. But I think he's going to send out Nicole if he doesn't send out Christmas. All right, in the bathroom, Enzo and Nicole are talking. Enzo is complaining to Nicole, saying, man, the second the HOH was over and I had won, Christmas was already campaigning to me. The second that thing was over about not wanting to get on the block and where my thoughts were and all of that, there's only 3 people. You got to put 2 of them on the block. And at the end of the day, it's the veto winner that makes a difference. So it doesn't make that much of a difference to campaign. You don't want to put too much pressure and start harassing people, Enzo, for the decision he's going to make, because it doesn't really matter. It's all about the veto at this point in time that it's going to be played on Saturday. We do, at that point, we're in the key room just a little bit later. Cody and Nicole are talking. Nicole is upset. She said, "Hi, I'm just frustrated. I hate watching an HOH competition play that I can't compete in." But she's also worried and a little frustrated that she thinks Christmas might be able to get in Enzo's head about getting out Cody or getting out you, Nicole. But she is worried that Christmas may be able to persuade Enzo to hold on to her and target elsewhere. Now, the thing is right now, Enzo isn't voting. He's on the HOH. If he wins the veto competition, then he has some say. But otherwise, all he's done is protect himself, guaranteed him a final 3. But Nicole is worried about Christmas's influence on Enzo. With fair enough. I get it completely. Cody and Nicole at this point do promise each other that obviously they both want to go to the final 2, but if they don't make final 2 and one of them makes it to jury, they're promising each other that the person who's still on that's in the final 2 will get the vote of the other person who's on jury. So they're already thinking about jury management and votes and everything else, as they should be. Everyone is, at this point in time, they're really waiting around. They're tired. It's late. Everyone is waiting around for Enzo's HOH room reveal. They're in different rooms. laying in bed, not really sleeping, just laying there. No one's talking, just laying around. Enzo eventually gets up, goes into the kitchen, burns some popcorn. Everyone in the whole house smells it. Cody says he even smelled it in the diary room. So Enzo's gotten everyone's attention with a little popcorn. Enzo finally gets his HOH room around, I don't know, 1 o'clock, Big Brother time, West Coast time. So it's pretty late. And of course, they cut the feeds. We don't get to see the room reveal. This is the last room reveal of the season. There'll be no Enzo is the last HOH. We missed it. I think he got a letter from his brother, and he was waiting for some alcohol and things like that, which haven't shown up yet. I don't believe. But yeah, we didn't get to see the room reveal, but no huge surprise there. We haven't seen a lot of them this season. Christmas is seeing everything he got. She wants to make a meat and cheese board from all of his different treats, and he said, yeah, well, yeah, sure, whatever. Nicole eventually calls it a night, says, I'm going off to bed, and she goes downstairs to sleep. Everyone's going to sleep in the key room except for Enzo, and he brought Mulan upstairs to keep him company. Everyone else will be in the key room, but Nicole calls it a night, goes to bed. There's a lot of talk between Christmas and Enzo and Cody about if any of their family will come to LA for finale, wondering what's going on with COVID. I think Enzo's son mentioned he was going to virtual school now. So they're thinking, well, at least he's in school, but obviously COVID's still a little bit going on there. So a lot of that kind of non-game chatting going on. They also talk about all the digs that they were making against each other's comics, making fun of each other in the comics, and trying to remember what they said, the jokes and everything else. Just an FYI, we in the diary room, everyone's kind of encouraged to make jokes about everyone else's comics after the BB Comics comp. Man, it's a long diary room. 16 comics. That's a lot of comics to be talking about for all the people in there. So they're talking about the jokes they told and everything else. Eventually after that, Christmas heads to bed as well, calls it a night. So now we've got just Cody and Enzo still upstairs. Cody, they're talking about the HOH competition, this night's move. And Cody is saying, man, Enzo, you suck at that game. And Enzo said, what are you talking about? I won the game. And Cody says, yeah, but you weren't helping going after Christmas at all. I was doing all the work going after Christmas, chasing her. And you were just playing neutral. You were Geneva. You were way over here. You weren't doing anything to help. And Enzo's arguing that he was, saying, no, I was protecting this side over here so she couldn't get past you and all. We did it exactly the way we needed to do it. Enzo is saying, look, the reason I won, because I got to go third. I got to go last. I got to see where y'all moved, and I could then adjust to that, and it just made a huge difference in the world. And he's probably right. Hey, you won. That's sometimes a little luck comes into play, right? So they're arguing about the competition a little bit. Now, at this point, it gets a little interesting because Enzo is arguing that Nicole really is better to get out than Christmas. He says, yo, Cody, Nicole's going to take Christmas to final 2 if she gets a chance. You know it. I know it. She's going to do it. So we've got to get Nicole out. Cody says, there is no way that I am not evicting Christmas this week if I get the chance. And Enzo responds, says, yeah, it's because you want to take Nicole to final 2, so you want to protect her. Enzo at that point says that he doesn't want to go to final 3 with Nicole because he's afraid that Cody will throw the competition to Nicole and that she will then cut Enzo and the two of them go to final 2 together. Enzo gets it. He sees what's going on. He understands the relationship. He's got the inkling, and I think he understands that there's probably a good chance that he's the third man in that 3-man alliance, and that's not a good position to be in when you're talking about going to a final 2. He gets it. But does that mean that he's going to do something about it, or is he just going to take his chances, hope for the best, and end up playing himself into probably a third-place position? I hope not. I hope he makes the move. He knows what he needs to do, just don't know if he's going to do it or not. All right, and then finally, Enzo's complaining, saying, oh, man, Christmas is going to be in my room at 9 o'clock in the morning campaigning to keep her off the block. And he said, nomination ceremony, what I'm going to say, there's only 4 of us. 3 of us go on the block. There's only 3 I can put on the block. 2 of us have to go. So it is what it is. He's saying it's just, there's no campaigning to be had. And he's right. But he still figures Christmas is going to be hitting him up very first thing in the morning, trying to argue her case. And he's probably right. So there you have it, guys. We'll have the nomination ceremony tomorrow. The big competition is Saturday. And that's where we're going to really see how this thing's going to play out. The biggest, most important competition of the whole season is on Saturday. Guys, y'all have a fantastic Friday. I will see y'all Saturday morning in about 24 hours. Y'all have a great day. Cheers, my friends. SKD 143. Bye.